Hi everyone. So today Salesforce Consulting Admin Training Day 18. Let's see the today's agenda. We'll quickly go through the previous session and we'll talk about public read write transfer. And then we'll see the differences between the sharing and transfer. What is the use case and how to do the owner update? What are the options we can see on the owner update and which are the object we can do it? A real-time issue. And then we will see what is the queue, what is queue supporting objects, and what is the queue members, who all can be the queue members, and navigation steps to create a queue. Use case, we will see one use case, and how to do the queue manual sharing, and then differences between the public group and queue. Then we'll have a conclusion, quiz, homework, interview sessions. Now quickly, what did we learn in the last class?
Public group,
automatic
sharing rules,
sharing
mechanisms, apex sharing, OWD, automated sharing,
OWD private, public,
OWD private.
Right. So we have seen those all. Today, let's go ahead and see the next one is public read write transfer. Now, we know public read write. When we have a public read write is nothing but when the OWD object setting is a public read write is nothing but whoever the user is creating, that user and that particular user manager will have a full access, whereas other users will have a read-write access. Other users cannot delete and share the record. Now this is, we got a clarity yesterday. Now today we are going to see what about like public read-write transfer. When we have a public read-write transfer, first of all, what are the objects we have a public read-write transfer? So public read-write transfer is nothing but by using this feature, we can transfer the record ownership from one user to another user or another group or another owner. So by using this feature, if I have this feature, if I have set this public read write transfer, so what will happen by using this feature, we can transfer the record ownership from one user to another. So transfer the ownership is nothing but I'm updating the owner. On every object, there is a field called account owner. There is a field called owner. So for example, if I go to the Salesforce, and if I click on view all, let's connect to the sales. So whether I go for account record or whether I go for opportunity lead or any record if I go. So everywhere I can see the owner details here. Even if I go to the lead or if I go to the opportunity, every object record level, we can see the owner. So details. Now we can see here owner. So public read write transfer is nothing but by using this feature, I can transfer the record ownership from one user to another user. That means I'm updating the owner from one owner to another owner. So then what is the differences between the sharing and transfer? Till yesterday, we have seen the sharing. And today I'm saying the transfer. Yesterday, what we did, we have shared the record. So let's assume that we have created a record, account record. So this owner is assume that Ram Gopal. So Ram Gopal has created an account record. He has created an account record. Now, for this account, what he has done is Ram Gopal shared a record with Akash. he just shared the information. So whenever we are sharing the information to the another person, that means I'm giving a partial access to other user. That doesn't mean that I'm giving a full authority, full access to the other person. Let's take an example of I have a car, I have a Skoda car, okay? So I bought that car 2 years back. Now suddenly one of that is everything is on my name. So that means I'm the owner of that car. I'm the owner of that car. But suddenly yesterday one of my friend came and he asked that, can you give your car? So we wanted to go someplace. So when he asked about that, so I'll share my keys to the person. I'll share my keys to the person. I'm not changing anything here. The authority is with me. The car on this car, authority is on my name. On my name. But for time being, the person needs this vehicle because there is a plan for that. So what I'll do, I'll share my car keys to the another person. So that means I'm sharing the record. I'm sharing my vehicle for 1 day or 2 days. But I'm not giving the complete authority to this. I'm not giving the complete authority of my vehicle to that person. So that is sharing. Whereas if we go for a transfer is nothing but here the vehicle is till now I have given the keys to the another person. Now let's assume that I wanted to sell this car. So that means another person is going to all my documents, whatever I have, the vehicle license documents, everything I'm giving to the another person, so that what will happen if I transfer my vehicle, all the license, everything, the authority, if I give it to that person, what will happen? I lose my access. I lose. So if the other person has taken my vehicle, so I sold my vehicle. Okay, he got everything. So he now he is complete. He has a complete authority on this vehicle. He has complete authority on this vehicle. So as soon as I sold this vehicle, that means I'm losing all the authorities or everything, full access on this vehicle. Where the new person is getting full access on this vehicle. Full access on this vehicle. So similar like a house. So if I have a house, okay, all my documents are on my name. So let's assume that tomorrow I'm selling this house. So what will happen from tomorrow onwards? All the documents will be what are the documents are there? We have to give the documents to this person. Now what will happen? From tomorrow onwards, all my authority, I'll not be having any authority on this house. So whoever the new person is there, he will get full access on this house, right? Similarly, there is here also in Salesforce, transfer is nothing but when Ram Gopal transfer a record to the Akash, that means he is going to lose all his access as soon as he says that transfer the record. That means Ram Gopal is going to lose the access and Akash is going to get full access on this. Whereas sharing, Ram Gopal still has access onto it, but he has shared a couple of half of the sharing access to this person. But this person does not have a full access to similar to Ram Gopal. So this is sharing. Sharing is nothing but owner is still Ram Gopal, but sharing some details to the Akash. Whereas transfer is nothing but completely moving the record owner, updating the record owner. I'm updating, that means I'm changing the owner from Ram Gopal to Akash. That means Ram Gopal is going to lose everything, all the access on this record, and Akash is going to get the access. So that is the differences between the sharing and transfer. Sharing and transfer. Now, let's come back to the public read write transfer. So we know that right now by using this feature, we can transfer the record ownership from one user to another user. That clarity, we got it. Now, upon transferring it, that means when I'm doing the transferring, when I'm transferring the record from one user to another user, that means the old user will lose the access on the record and the new user will get the full control on the record. So whatever I have explained previously, that's the same sentence. Now, public read-write transfer option will be applicable only for lead and case object. Public read-write transfer, this is the OWD option. This is applicable only for lead and case object. If you go to the OWD, or how to go to the OWD settings?
Sharing settings.
Sharing settings. If you go to the sharing settings, you will see that this option is applicable only for lead and case, because we do the transfer of a lead converting, right? We do the transfer on this lead and we do the transfer on cases. So based on the location, I wanted to transfer the cases. So that's the reason we have only these two objects where this option is available. Now let's take a use case. Assume that there is a Dell company. Dell company is manufacturing the laptops. They are manufacturing the laptops. They have manufactured so many laptops and they have released it to market. Now people came to know from marketing side. So everybody is now aware that Dell has released a new laptop, which has a very good features and which has a very good RAM, everything they came to know. Now people were very interested to buy this laptop. So whoever is looking for new laptop, these 5 members, they bought a laptop. They bought a laptop from someplace, Dell laptop. Now they have started using the Dell laptop. After 1 year. So what happened suddenly after 1 year, they were started seeing some issues. Maybe Windows updates are not happening or system is not restarting or some issues were there. So it is hanging or performance issue is there. Now, whenever this person bought a laptop, this person might be getting the guarantee card, right? There should be a guarantee card and Dell company will give some paper details, all the information they will give. So they have some numbers with them. They have some numbers. So either they can raise a issue directly sending an email, because the email details, everything will be there on that guarantee card, or else what they can do is they can call the toll-free number. We have a toll-free number. So what they will do is they wanted to raise a case. They wanted to raise a case because they are facing some issue, which is a very urgency. Somebody has to go to this place. Wherever this person is there, this person place, somebody has to go and check his laptop and check her laptop. What is the issue? Based on that, again, they have to raise it, right? If they are able to resolve it, that is fine. Otherwise, it has to move back to the another team. So wherever this person is there, it cannot be solved. Maybe they will call the call center or toll-free number. They will guide you some steps. You have to do some step. But ultimately, what is the end solution is somebody will be coming to, somebody has to go to their place in order to check their laptop performance, everything. So what they have done is these members, they have raised a case. They have raised a case by calling the call center, toll-free number. Assume that there is a Dell customer care center. This is the number. There is some number. So we have customer engineer. Assume that there are only 2 members, customer engineers. So these customer engineers are attending the calls, whoever is calling for this toll-free number, and they are collecting all the information from this customer and on behalf of the customer. So what they will do is they will raise a case. They will raise a case. Now here, assume that right now these 2 members are from Hyderabad. They called a toll-free number and they have given everything. Now these 2 members are from Hyderabad. These 2 members are from some different place, and these 2 members are some different place. Okay, so while while taking the information, these customer engineers, they asked from which location you are calling it. So everything they will collect it. Now, what they have to do is they have to send the information. So in a company, in Dell company, we have a support team or services team. Multiple teams will be there based on the location. Multiple sales team or sales queue teams will be there based on the location. Now, this customer engineer, what they will do is after taking all the information, they will transfer the case to the related based on the place, related place queue. They will transfer the case because we do not want customer engineers to hold that. The owner has to be modified. The owner has to be updated because right now the responsibility of service engineer, we have a service engineers within the team. So service engineers has to be taken this step. Now customer engineer, whatever they have, they are done by collecting the information, that is done. Now they have to transfer the record. They have to transfer the record to the Hyderabad service queue if it is related to Hyderabad team. If it is related to Bangalore, they need to transfer that record to the Bangalore service queue. If it is from Mumbai, then they have to transfer the record to the Mumbai queue. So what here we have this is called as a queue. That means inside the queue is nothing but a location. It's based on the location, certain members will be there within the queue. Certain members will be there within the queue. Now, this is the use case. So usually it happens in the scenario based. So in case if they have to transfer the record, where they will do, they have to go to this option, right? They have to go to this option. When you go to this option, it tells that change lead owner. Change lead owner. So we have here two options, queue and users. Queues and users. Users are nothing but to specific user I'm transferring it. From Ram Gopal to Akash, I'm transferring the record. Queue is nothing but based on the location and based on the members where they are, we will be transferring a record to a certain group, certain queue group. Now here, owner update is nothing but while transferring the lead case record owner, we transfer the record either user or a queue. So right now we have seen there are two options here. So lead, I'm on to the lead. So I can see user and queues. These two options are there. Now question. Now when I say lead case record, right? So does that means I can transfer the record only for lead and only for case? How about other objects? I have other objects, opportunity, account, contact, right? We have a custom object. How about those? So for those, queue will not be visible. Whatever you see here, queues will not be visible. They will be having only option called users. So only lead, case, and some other objects which we have, I will be discussing that. So those will be having a queue option. So other objects, account, contact, opportunity, they will not see here queues. So right now I'm into the lead. So I can see two options are there. If I go to the case also I can see two options. If I go to the case and if I click on the case, now I wanted to update the details, owner. So if I click on the owner, I can see two options. Whereas if I go to the account, if I try to update the owner, so what will happen? I'll have only one option called users. I cannot see account here. It is directly populating me users. It is directly populating me users, even opportunity. If I go to the opportunity, in the opportunity also, if I wanted to update the owners, so opportunity also has only one option called user. I can update the user. There is no issue here. So only search users, only this will be available. Only this will be available. So if you wanted to share the record, if you want to share the record, for example, this is created by integration user. Now I wanted to share this record to DEC batch, or I wanted to share the record to Radha Srinivas. So I can select the user, and if I wanted to send a notification email to Radha, then I can check this, so that what will happen, Radha will be receiving an email notification saying that opportunity record has transferred to you. Okay, that means you are the owner of this particular opportunity. So Radha Srinivas will also become the owner of this record related sales David that are owned by the integration user. So when I'm sharing the opportunity, automatically notes and attachment open activities will be automatically it's shared with. Okay, so automatically it needs to be shared with. It needs to be shared with. When I share the opportunity, notes and attachment, everything will be shared. Now, if I go to the account, if I take a CEO 345, now if I wanted to update the owner here, when I click on a user, if I select any user here, what will happen? Account has some child objects, right? So that means within the account, when I go to the related list of the account, when I go to the related list of account, I can see contact, related contact, opportunity, cases, notes, and attachment. These all objects are there, details, right? These all objects are there. So on the account level, so if I am transferring the account, because account is the main here. So when I'm transferring the account, it asks a couple of questions here. Apart from send notification email, where we were seeing this option in the opportunity, we can see other options like what are the opportunities that are linked to this particular account. Do you want it to transfer all the open opportunities, though it is owned by this user or other users, everything you wanted to transfer? Yes, I wanted to transfer all the opportunities that are linked to this account. Transfer the account owner's closed opportunity. If I wanted to transfer, there are some accounts, right, for this owner where the closed opportunities are there. Do you want to transfer the closed one also? So the first one is a open opportunities, and the second one, do you want to transfer the closed opportunities as well? Yes, I wanted to transfer the closed opportunities also. And the next one is transfer account owners open cases. Do you want to transfer the open cases that are linked to this particular account? If you say yes, yes, I wanted to transfer. And transfer all of this account owners cases, irrespective of the status. Irrespective of the status. Now, I can transfer. Now, you might be asking that here I have already option that transfer all of this account owner cases. Now, why do I have a separately open cases? There are some scenarios that they do not want to transfer all the cases. Okay, only they wanted to see the open cases. So because everybody is interested to review the open cases. Whatever the closed one is not interested by others. Closed ones are interested by the managers, right? They wanted to work on the open cases. So that's the reason they will go with this and they will not go with this. If you are sharing a record, if you are transferring the record, to some other people who are very interested to know what are the cases that this account has, we wanted to know all the information. In that case, select this, unselect this, right? It's all depending on the scenario. If the client says that transfer only the one which are closed, I'm not interested on the open opportunities. So then I'll select the transfer accounts owners that are closed opportunities. So these are some information what will happen by selecting this. So it will give all the information. If I click on change owner, it will be changed. So now the owner got changed from whoever is the previous one is there, from that to the Lionel Messi, right? So we can see other object, the owner update option will be there, but only the option called user will be there. Whereas lead and case has additional one is called queues. Additional one is called queues. So further going, we will be focusing on these queues. Further going, we will be focusing on these queues. Now let's assume that there is a real-time scenario. Real-time scenario. So what is that scenario is? Now let me go to the setup. Now in setup, I'll go to the sharing settings. So let me update something here. Click on save. Now I'll log in as one of the user. I will log in as one of the user. Let's log in as a Messi. So I'll click on a login. Now, so when the user, assume that Messi is a end user or some user in the client side. Now, when they go to the leads, now they wanted to work on the owner. They wanted to update the owner, whoever the lead owner is there, that owner needs to be updated. But the issue raised from the client side is the users not able to see the lead owner here. I have not updated any profile. I have not changed anything on the lead settings or something on the OWD settings. On the lead, I did not change anything. So lead permissions like a OWD setting to the private, right? It is a private. So, but what happened suddenly around in 2020? So what happened, they raised this issue saying that suddenly we started that lead owners are not, we are not able to see. We are not able to see. So I don't know who is the previous owner, because I wanted to know who is the previous owner. From that, I wanted to update the latest user, or I wanted to update the users. Okay, I wanted to change that user, but before that, I wanted to verify the lead owner who is there. Now, this is the issue raised by the client saying that a scenario to assign the record owner to another user based on some criteria. They wanted to update based on some criteria. So the non-admin users, whoever the non-admin users are there, the non-admin users are unable to view the value of owner field. They were not able to see that owner field value. So once the way, and whenever they update a different user also, they were not able to see that. The reason for that in Spring 20 release, we got a new option called require permissions to view the record names in lookup field. This is the option called require permissions to view the record name in the lookup field. So lookup field is nothing but when I click on a binary option. So lookup fields are, let's go to here. That's clear. So yesterday I have created a one lookup field, right? So let's go to the record, click on edit. Now we have created yesterday. Yeah, this is the lookup field. So whatever you see here, this is the lookup field. Now, in case if you do not have access, that means OWD level if it is a private, OWD level if it is a private. So what will happen if they select any other users here? If they select any user, they cannot see the lookup names here. They cannot able to see the lookup names. So right now, Messi is going to the lead and he is opening up the one of the lead, And when he verifies, he is not able to see the value. He is not able to see the value. So the reason is on the sharing setting, we have a one option called require permission to view record name in lookup field. It is checked. If it is a checked, and if your OWD level user, if your OWD level user is a private, right? User is a private, and the combination, if you have this checkbox, they cannot see. Now, if you uncheck this, if you uncheck, click on a save. Now let's go to the refresh. Now I logged in as a Messi, and let's go to the lead. Yeah, lead, and let's go to the detail section. See, now the Messi is able to see the value. So this option, whatever you can see on the OWD level, the bottom, require permission to view the record name in lookup field is introduced in Spring 20. And this is to view the record name in lookup field. Users must have a record access to these records or view or lookup record names. That means if you have a public read write or public read, then you can, it doesn't matter. But if you are setting a option here, OWD level, right? So user option is a private. In that case, if user OWD is private and if it is checked, then users will not be able to see the record. So this is the option which is released in Spring 20. Now, any questions till now? Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Manager groups is also there. What is actually
Yeah, I'll come to that point later. Okay, that for that need a scenario. For that scenario, I'll explain what is that option. But right now, the scenario came for this, right? So this scenario is, which is released in the Spring 20. Now, there are few options which are by default enabled by the Salesforce. There are few options which are by default enabled for this. Now, I cannot edit this and I cannot edit this because these are the one which is automatically share the record, which is automatically share the record to their managers and manager subordinates, which is automatically is happening through the role hierarchy plus combination of manager group. Right, this is already happening. And then secure guest users record access. So secure record guest users is basically we have a guest users in the Salesforce. Guest users is nothing but they will not be having a complete access to Salesforce. They will just open some page, and in that page they fill up some information and they click on a submit. So when they open that page, we do not want to share all our internal records to the guest users. Right? If we wanted to share maybe 1-2 record, that is also very specific, but we ideally in the real time, we do not want to share any record to the guest users. So that's the reason it is by default disable these two options. By default, it is disable these two options. You cannot enable this. And standard report visibility is, yes, any questions?
Yeah, Swapna, in real time, guest user, they can access or maybe?
No, they cannot access. Basically, why guest users are coming up is assume that we have implemented some page. Okay. And that page, ideally what we will do the Web2 lead or Web2 case, we will implement it and we will place it onto the page or website. So through that they will come. But there are some scenarios, some pages, we will just keep those pages. For example, community, if you have already heard a community, before coming to the community, they need to submit some form. So if they submit some form, that means I need access to community. Similar like a developer additional org. Whenever I need a developer additional org, then I need to submit a form and then I will get the access. Similarly, some clients, what they will do is, so they will give a certain page access to the guest users where they can open that page. That page is within the Salesforce only, right? And they will be filling some information and submitting it. So for that, in that case, we do not want to share any record. So guests are just, they do not have a credentials at all. They are just coming for the temporary and filling some information and going away. For those users, we cannot share all the records from the Salesforce. So we do not have any sharing rule criteria, or there is nothing for the guest users.
Swapna?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you logged in as a administrator or some other user?
Other user.
This, you said this manager user is always checked by default, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but in my this one setup, I don't see it is checked by default.
Okay.
If I'm a system admin, so I did not understand actually what is the importance of
Let
that.
me
Can you
log out
explain?
here. If you log in as the end user, then you will see that option as a disabled.
Okay. Still I'm not.
Okay. Anyway, so those topics we will discuss later. I do not want to divert this. Okay. Now I'll see for you, Archana, what is the reason why you are able to see this.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, but the option here is that is the manager group and guest users are org-wide. We will keep it. Everything is private. We do not share anything to the guest users. Is that clear, Ram Gopal?
Yes, Swapna. Thank you.
Yeah. So that was the real-time scenario which we have seen in this before, after the Spring 20 release. And then let's move on to the queue, understanding the queue. So queue is nothing but a location. As we have discussed, queue is nothing but a location where all the pending records are awaiting for the processing by queue. So that means the scenario which we have discussed. So this is the scenario, right? So this scenario is right now, if I'm assigning anything, for example, customer engineering is assigning directly to the service engineer, directly assigning to the service engineering one. Now, does this person have a clarity that whether this person is available or not? Assume that this person is fully occupied. If I assign directly to this one, so what will happen? This person is going to take a time, 1 week time or a 2 weeks time or a 3 weeks time. So, but users, whoever the users are facing the issue on the laptop, they cannot wait for 1 week of the time. Now, let's suppose if they are assigning to the another engineer too, but this engineering is on vacation. These people are not aware. They simply assigned to the engineering too, and they waited for this person to take up the ownership. They have transferred the record to engineering too, but they are not aware that this person is on vacation. But here transferring is done. That means their work is done. These people work is done. That means they have transferred the record. That's all done. but I don't know what this person is doing once it is transferred to this. We cannot know that. Now, if I assign this person, now this person is also having some fully occupied. Now they are not able to handle that. So what will happen is possible that there is a fourth person who is empty, but they are not aware. So what they will do is instead of assigning to the single engineer, so what they will do is they will assign it to the queue. They will assign it to the queue. So it will sit in the queue. It will sit in the queue whenever the person is empty, whenever the person is available. So what they will do is they will take the case from the queue and they will accept it. When they accept this person, the first person, when they accept it, it will immediately, owner will be updated from the queue name to this user. Owner will be updated to this person. So till the person is able to take this, that means it will sit in the queue. It will sit in the queue till the person is available for the action on this particular record. Action on this particular record. So it is similar like when we are traveling by train. Assume that I'm traveling by train. So my train is around 10:30 p.m. So, but I reached station by 10. Assume that I have reached at 10 o'clock. Now, what should I need to do? I have a half an hour time there, right? So there is in station, there is a waiting room. There is something called waiting room. So what I can do is I can go to the waiting room and I can wait for some time. I can wait here till my train comes. So like this, whoever is traveling by train, or whoever is there whoever is waiting for the next train, they all are waiting, right? So they can come and sit here till the train is reached. They said that again, the announcement it came that train is delayed by 2 hours. So 2 hours I have to wait here, right? As soon as the train is reached to the station, then what will happen? What are the waiting? Whoever is the waiting here, everybody will come out of this waiting room because their train is reached. So that means before, what are the queue was there? Who are waiting for the train? What are the queue was there? So that all the members were went. Now what are the queue is that waiting room is there, this is empty. Now whoever is waiting for after the another train, if there is any delay, again will people go and sit into the waiting room. So that means people are moving here. They are going into the waiting room, and whenever they see that there is a train is coming, or when they have to move on, then they are coming out of this waiting room. Similarly, in Salesforce also, we have something called queue. Queue is nothing but whatever the records are coming, whatever the records are receiving it, these records directly go and sit into the queue. These records directly go and sit into the queue because these members can directly assign it to the queue. Now, whoever is the part of this, whoever is part of this queue, for example, Hyderabad service queue, whoever is the part of this queue, what they will do is they will look at the queue. So whoever is available based on the work, whatever the workload is there, based on that, if they have some time, they can go and review the queue and pick up the case and assign it to themselves. Assign it to themselves. Now, any questions here? So queue is a centralized location to assign a work. Basically, that is a centralized location where everybody in a sense, whoever the member of that queue, they can go and they can view the information. They can go and they can view the information which are related to the Salesforce record for the efficient and effective workflows. Rather than depending on a single person, everybody will handle all the different issues. Now, Salesforce queue prioritize. That means if there is any escalations, criticals, high priority, if there are any cases are there. So the first thing, whoever the members are there within the queue, they have to first look at based on the priority. So if there is any priority which is escalated, right? So then the person has to first take the escalated one or the critical one. Then they have to distribute among themselves and assign the record by whatever the option that is there. By using that, they can assign the record. And how many queues can I create it? For now, there is a no limit, but maximum in real time, we can create 5 queues. And all queue information will be resides inside the group object. In case if you wanted to query how many queues are there, you can look at the group object while querying it. Query is nothing but I'm trying to see what all the records are there in the object. So when I wanted to see through the development code, or instead of going into the object manager, I wanted to see through the development point of view. So when I wanted to see the development point of view, so this is the object where you can see all the queues. Now queue contains 2 parts. First one is a queue supporting objects. Second one is a queue members. So queue has 2 parts. One is a supporting objects and another one is a queue members. Another one is a queue members. Now let's see the queue supporting. So queue supporting objects are, it represents what are the object records can be held inside the queue. Not all the objects. We cannot create a queue for not all the objects. Only there are specific objects which we can create a queue. So queue holds only the some of the objects or a specific objects. So queue would not support all the standard objects, but queue supports the custom objects. It supports the below objects, which are like lead, case. We have some object called quick text, and we have some object called order, and we have some object called knowledge article version. And then we have a user pre-versioning request, and there are some objects which are related to feedback, service appointment, work type. All right. So these are there are few more objects, standard objects. For those objects, we can see that queue option is available and all the custom objects are available. Now, where can I see that what are the objects that is available for the queue? Now, while creating the queue, you will be able to see the list of objects that are supported by the queue. You will be able to see the list of objects that are supported by the queue. So basically, if you go to the option called here, if you go to setup and search for here queue, search for here queues. So here, if you click on a new queue, so here it says that queues allows the group of user to manage a shared workload more effectively. That means if any record is created, we are assigning to queue. Now, whoever is available, they will take that work and they will assign it to themselves. So basically, we are managing the work appropriately. So a queue is a location where records can be routed to awaited processing by the group members. That means, as I have given the example, one of the example which I have given based on the location, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Bangalore, if I'm getting any cases, laptop issues. So based on the location where I can route that case to a specific queue or a specific group of the members where they can take care of that. So the record remains in the queue until the user accepts them for a processing or they are transferred to the another queue. So queue will be sitting in the, record will be sitting in the queue. Until unless user has to go to that particular, user is nothing but whoever is the internal team is there, they have to go to that particular queue and see that whether they can able to handle that particular case and take it from the queue. Otherwise, what will happen if they are not able to handle, if they feel that, okay, if they feel that it is not our issue. It is not our issue. It is a different member issue. So let's take an example. So let's assume that when you go to the ICICI Bank, right? So when you go to the ICICI Bank, we have an option called here, I'm interested in. Now we have an option. We refresh. Okay, so I have an option here. I'm interested in, different options are there. So let's assume that I'm going for a loan. I'm interested in loan. But what is the loan here? The loan, I have a different options are there. Let's assume that I'm to buying a house. Now I'll select this and they will give us some information here. Calculate your EMI, home loan, everything. So for example, I'm taking a 30 lakhs here, okay? So this everything works for me, then I'll apply it. So when I click on apply, it will ask few more details. So few more details are like whether you are an existing customer or a new customer. If it is an existing customer, we have a different option. If it is a new customer, we have a different option. If it is a new customer, then assume that I'm a new customer. So when I click on a new customer, now we can see it has taken me to this option. Now I'm selecting for a new loan. So when I select a new loan, I have to submit all this information, first name, mobile, date of birth, all this information, and then I have to click on a proceed. So when I click on a proceed, what will happen? ICICI Bank has a different teams. They have a team called who is especially focusing on the car loan. Assume that they are focusing on the car loan. And there is another group who are focusing on the home loan. There is another group who was focusing on house loan, and there is another group who is focusing on gold loan. So these are the three different teams are there. We have a three different teams. Now, when I click on here approve, that means a record gets created within the system. Within the ICICI Bank, there is a record gets created. So whenever the record is created, now that record has to verify from which location or from which loan location and which loan is it? Is it a car loan or is it a home loan or is it a gold loan? So here this record says that it is a loan, but the type is home loan. So as soon as it says the type is home loan, first criteria is it is going to cross verify that, okay, this is the queue. So this queue is only for home loan. And then within this queue, now we have a Hyderabad location. So this is the right queue. So we will place it into this queue, right? So that is nothing but if they are receiving, if the different group is received the record, now that group or that queue member has to transfer that record to the another queue. So that means the record remains in the queue until user has to accept it or user has to be transferred the record. When I say user, it's not the end user, it's a client. Whoever is handling the cases, whoever is maintaining these cases, whoever is maintaining the leads. So they are the one. You can specify the set of objects that are supported by the each queue. Right? You can specify the set of objects that are supported by each queue, as well as the set of users that are allowed to retrieve the records from the queue. Now, this is the detailed information which is provided by the Salesforce. Now, when I click on a new button, so on this new button, here you can see all the objects, the supported objects you can see here. Now, what are the supported objects? There are a case, lead, and finance transaction, and knowledge article version, service appointment, work type, and work type group, work order, right? So these are the options which are supported by the queues. I cannot see here account, contact, opportunity. I cannot see those records here, those objects here. So basically only few objects are supported. Only few objects are supported, and all the custom objects. What are the custom objects we have? So all the custom objects are supported for the queue. So those are queue supporting objects. Now queue members, the second one is queue members. Queue members is, it represents the group of people. It represents the group of people who can access the queue records, who can access the queue records. So that means when I'm creating the queue, the first option is supported object. And the second one is a queue members. I can select the queue members, but who are the part of queue members? You can select a user, you can select a public groups, you can select a roles, you can select a roles and subordinates. Right? You can select anyone. Now you can select the public groups. Public groups, if as soon as the record is created, I wanted to send all the emails are part of the group. Or I can select the role and subordinates. Right? We can also select the different users, which are different roles. Right? We can create that. So that is the queue member. So queue member is, it represents the group of people or group of people who can access the queue record. So as soon as the record has been placed inside the queue, that means the owner is right now queue. All the queue members will receive an email. Whoever is the part of that queue member, everybody will get an email saying that there is a record still sitting in the queue. Just now a case came into the queue, or the record just now reached into the queue. So everybody will receive an email. Everybody will receive an email. The record will get awaited inside the queue till any of the queue member accept it, or else it has been transferred to the other queue. Either one, you have to do it. Now, once the queue member accepts the record, then the record ownership will get transferred from queue to the accepted member. That means once you accept, now you go to the queue, and that user is verifying that which case do I need to take. So you will take that case. As soon as you take that case, that means you are accepting it, right? So you have to click on some button there in order to accept that. So when you click on an accept button, so immediately the owner will be updated from queue name to the whoever the user is start owning it. So whoever is clicked on the accept button, it will go to that person user. Now we can configure one or more queues inside the organization. Now, any questions till this point? Queue members, queue supported objects.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
who will transfer the queues?
Whenever we create a queue, automatically there will be a list gets created. So the individual user has to go. Now, whoever is the part of that group, the member has to go to that list and verify it, which record they can able to do that. So they will take that record and they have to accept it. It's an individual responsibility. It is similar like when you are working on a support cases. So for example, you are part of your support cases. So every day you have to look for what are the cases that are coming in the system. So what will happen once you are done with your work, you need to go back and check your cases list, which one is available. If I take another scenario, if you are already working, okay, you are a developer. So we have a certain tickets. We have certain tickets which are assigned to us. Now there are 3 members are there in team. Now one member is empty. Right now his work is done. Now what this person will do, this person will go to the list and he will cross verify what is the next ticket that I can take it up. There are 20 tickets which are sitting here. So out of 20 tickets, which ticket can I take it up? So this person will pick up the third one or the fourth one, and what he will do that, okay, I'll take this record. He will say that I will take this record. How he is going to say that? He has to click on a button called accept button. When he select this record and when he click on this accept button, that means the record I'm going to own it. Now record has been transferred to this user. He is the responsible for resolving this particular ticket.
Ma'am, but my doubt is in the third line you said that it has been transferred to the other queues, right? Who
Yeah.
will transfer the queues? The queue members?
Yes, queue members.
Okay.
So when he is reviewing the record, if he feels that somewhere here 18th record is not related to our work, so what this person will do, this person will move this to the another queue.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Swapna, can we just we can use public group as well as queue, or what is the scenario we have to use? Because queue will also allow sharing, right?
Yes,
Multiple user can view the record,
yes,
and public group is also sharing, right?
yes.
So in what scenario we should
Queue
use
is not
queue?
sharing. First of all, queue is not sharing.
Mhm.
Queue, what we have understood so far, queue is where we are updating the owner. That means I'm transferring the record. I'm not sharing the record. I'm
No,
transferring the
sharing in
record.
the sense, sharing in the sense, all the members in the queue can view that record, right? Maybe they cannot work on it, but they all can view it. It's like a read access, correct? So the moment they take the ownership, they can start working on it,
Okay,
correct?
what is
But
the
public group,
differences between the public group and queue?
Yeah.
Hold on it. So we have a
Okay.
slide for that.
okay.
Ma'am, I have done.
Yeah.
Actually, in a group we have three members to work on that. One particular like Hyderabad queue,
Mhm.
we can create three members. All are busy with their case records.
Mhm.
But again, it will come one more record. Who
Mhm.
will accept? Uh,
So there is a person who will be monitoring. Assume that there is a case came and it sits into the queue for almost 1 week, 2 weeks. Another, again, the person said that, okay, I did not get any response. So what they will do is they will update the priority of that case. So they will escalate that case. So in the companies, we have something called SLA, service level agreement. That means if there is any ticket or any record that sits into the queue for more than 24 hours, it should automatically escalate that record. Automatically escalate that record. That means whoever the members are there within that queue, they will be getting an email, escalation email saying that this record came last 24 hours back. No, nobody has taken this record. So that kind of a customization can be done in the company.
among three people, one person can take at a time can doing two records. How is it possible to assign one person to two
Yes,
records?
yes. He can take the ownership of 2, 3, 4, whatever it is.
Okay.
No, this is used for users only, maybe.
Yes, right now we are using only for the users.
In real time, or records wise, maybe.
In real time, we will create a queue, and inside the queue, we will place the users and we will place the public groups also.
Okay.
One more thing. Actually, case will be rise for end users. Right?
End users.
end user nothing but who will purchase that laptop or mobile phone like that. Those candidates are that candidate only raise the case, right? Or any internal team.
There are two ways are there. Either the person can directly go to the site and they can raise a case, or they can call the toll-free number and they can request them to raise a case. It is similar like a Salesforce support team. So you will be having an option in the Salesforce. You can directly log a case. Right here we have a Salesforce help. By clicking on this, you can directly log a case, or else you can call the toll-free number of Salesforce support team and you can request that this is the issue which I am facing it. I need a immediate assistance.
Yeah.
Okay. So navigation steps for creating a queue. So click on a setup menu. So we have searched for the option queue in the queue find box, and then we can click on the queues link. So list of all the queue records which we can see here. So this is what we have seen already. So from the setup, you can directly search the queue, and from the queue, you can click on this new button. So when you click on a new button, there are 3 steps are there. First one is a queue name and email address. Here you have to give an email address of the group email. It's not a single email. There will be a group email will be there. So because whenever we are assigning to the members, the members will receive an email. Also, whoever is the group of that email is there, they should be also receiving an email. That means CCing this person, copying this person. Now, second one is a supported objects. You can select an object for which object you wanted to implement a queue. Now, if you have selected the lead here, you can only see the queue on the lead. You cannot see this queue on the case. So if you have selected here lead, that means for the lead, whenever I'm changing the owner, if I select a queue, this particular queue should be appearing on the lead. But if you are doing on the case object, or if you are doing some other thing, right? So case or a change request or something else we have, right? If you are doing on that, so what will happen? It will not show. So you need to specify the object for which object you wanted to implement a queue. And next one is a queue member. So add a members to this queue, so that what will happen, these members will automatically be part of this queue and they will get an email. They will get an email. So let's take a use case. Configure the queue Hyderabad sales queue by adding the lead object as a support object, and we will add the user called Messi as the queue member. So this is the use case. So whatever I'm doing it here, I'll take a Hyderabad sales queue, and then let me take the email. Samskar ID @gmail.com and send email to members. If you want automatically an email should be going to the members, then you have to select this. If you do not select this, the members will not receive an email. Now select objects you wanted to assign to this queue. Individual record for those objects can then be owned by this queue. So right now I wanted to create it for the lead. So I'll select the lead. Queue members. Right now I'm going to select the queue member. So to add a members to the queue, select the type of member, then choose the group or a role, or use from the available members and move them to the selected members. If the sharing model for all the objects in the queue is a public read-write transfer, you do not need to assign users to the queue. Because when we have a public read-write transfer, that means everybody will be having access to view the record, right? So in real time, OWD for the internal objects, for the internal object, OWD is always private in the real time. We do not keep it as a public read write or public read write transfer. Now, right now I have created a queue and the member of the queue is Messi. Now, as soon as I create a queue, right? So let's go to the object. Right now I am as an admin. Now I'll go to the leads. Now that, see here, there is a list gets created. Automatically, the list gets created. When I create a queue, this gets automatically created. If I create, right now, I do not have a Bangalore sales. Right now, I do not have a Bangalore sales. What I'm doing, I'm creating another queue. Let's say that Bangalore. Bangalore sales queue, and I'll use the samskar@gmail.com and then send members. Now I'll take the lead. Now user is Messi. Let's click on save. Now another queue, I have created it. When I created another queue, let's refresh this. So whenever the queue is created, I see that there is another list view is created. We are not creating manually this list view. It is created by system. As soon as I create a queue related to that object, the queues will be automatically created. The queues list will be automatically created, right? So if I wanted to modify anything, filter on this. So let's click on a filter. Filter by owner, Bangalore sales queue. That means as soon as I click on a save, what Salesforce does, Salesforce is automatically created a list here by adding the owner equal to Bangalore sales group. Owner equal to Bangalore sales group. Now, so let me go to the normal leads. So let's take some lead here. Right now, if I go to the details and if I click on a lead owner, now I'll select here, instead of a user, I'll select a queue. When select a queue, now I can select either Hyderabad or a Bangalore. I can select Hyderabad or Bangalore. Now I can click on change owner. So what will happen? Immediately this owner gets changed to Hyderabad sales group. Hyderabad sales group. Now, if Messi log into this, what Messi has done is Messi logged in. Now, he will go to the lead because he has some bandwidth. What Messi does is it will verify, is there anything records in the Bangalore queue? No, there is no records. So it will go to he will go to the Hyderabad sales queue. Is there any records? Yes, there is one record. So what he will does is he will open up this lead and he will go through the step by step. What is this? Let's click on the details. Now, he will go through these records, right? So what will happen as soon as he go through the records, he feels that, okay, I can handle this record. So what this person will do right now, the owner is Hyderabad sales group. So what he can do is he can go back to the leads and he can check this. Now let's go to the Hyderabad sales queue. He can check this and click on accept. As soon as I click on accept, the owner will be updated from Hyderabad sales queue to Messi name. Now I clicked on Messi. Now it gone from the queue. It gone from the queue because the criteria is owner equal to Hyderabad sales. Now owner has been updated. Owner has been updated. Now if I say today's lead, all open leads assigned to me. Okay. So in real time, what we will do is we will create another queue here, another list here, which is assigned to me. So whatever is assigned to me, those records will be, we can see. So the record was Mike brand. So if I click on this Mike, so now if I go to the detail section, the lead owner is from the Hyderabad sales group to Leonel Messi. Now, so far what we have done, we have done transferring the record. I did transfer the record, right? So that means as soon as the record is created, right? Assume that record is created. We have assigned as an admin, I have assigned that record to the queue. And whoever is the part of that queue, they will go to that particular list of the queue and they will check, is there any waiting records in the queue or not? If there are any waiting records, they will click on the accept button. So as soon as they click on the accept button, whatever the lead owner is there from Hyderabad sales group to, it changed to his name. Now till this point, any question, till this point, don't think further, till this point, any questions? Okay. So now so far what we have done is we did everything manually. So while transferring the record to the queue, we have two ways. One is a manual transfer, which we have done right now. And the second one is automated transfer. So far, whatever we did it, that is a manual transfer. I have assigned to the queue and queue member has taken that. So assigning to the queue has to be automated process. What I have done, assigning to queue, which I have done it manually. So manual transfer is nothing but in this approach, we can transfer each record to the queue manually, which I did right now by changing the record owner field to the queue. Right, that's what I have done it. I have updated, the first step is I have updated the lead owner to the queue. And then open the lead record, go to the details page and click on the change owner field. So I then select the queue. That is what we did it. Then select the queue name like a Hyderabad sales group. And then we have selected the send email to the members. And click on it, save. Now, once that is done, what will happen? It will transfer the record to the queue. It will go out from the my name. So whatever my name was there. So initially what I did, the first step is I went to the lead. Now here I have taken one record and then this record. I have taken this record and this record, what I did, I selected this icon. By selecting this icon, I have selected the queue. When I selected the queue and we can search whatever the queues are there. Then we can select here, send notification email. Send notification email, click on change owner. This is the first step. When I select that send email, then only they will be receiving an email saying that this is the lead, okay, has been assigned to you, to whom there is a queue here, 00Q, which is the initial 3 letters which talks about the object type. So this is 00Q is nothing but a group object. So this is the place where it has been identified. So like this, the end users also will receive an email. End users is nothing but member of users. Now what is the second step? Now what happened? It will transfer the record to the queue. Now once it is transferred the record, the queue members will get an email alert. So the email alert which I have shown you. So that email alert, they will get it. So now assume that Messi is also got the email. Now once he saw the email, then he went to the queue. So he went to the leads object, and in the leads object, selected the Bangalore sales queue, and there is a one is there, and he accepted it. As soon as it is accepted, gone. That means you have accepted the lead from queue to your own name. So that means as soon as they accepted the record, then login into the whatever the Leona is there, leads tab, pick list, quick name, and then we have selected the record. We clicked on accept. Once we accept, the record has transferred from the queue to the accepted member. The record has transferred to the queue members. Now this is what we have seen, right? Only manual transfer we have seen. Now we have another option is called automated transfer. We have another option called automated transfer. Automated transfer is basically, we will do it through the assignment rule. We will do it through the assignment rule. If you wanted to implement automated transfer, that means automatically assign the record to the queue. That can be done through the assignment rule. That can be done through the assignment rule. So let's take an example for the assignment rule. Let's assume that in my company, there are so many positions are open. So many positions are open. Let's assume that in one of the company, Dell company or a Deloitte company, positions were open. When the positions were open, so many members were showing an interest on that. Assume that there is a developer position and architect position. So they were very interested in this position. So what they have done, they have submitted or they sent an email to the HR members like, I'm interested to this. So HR member, what they will do, they will create a record on behalf of these users. They will create a record. So this person is interested on this position. So they will create a record in their system saying that so and so person is interested on this position. Now, when the record is created, the work of the HR members is to just create a record. Now, once the record is created, I need a system where it will do the assignment, to the, based on the location, it should send that record to the either HR department of the Hyderabad or HR department of the Bangalore or HR department of the Chennai. Right? So based on this location, we should be sending that particular record. That means the person, whoever is interested. So we have to transfer that record to these members. Right? We are transferring the records to this member, so that what will happen when we transfer it, so they will be able to see the record. They cannot work on until unless they accept it. They can just view the record, but they cannot start working on until unless they accept. If they wanted to work on it, if this person is there, this HR member want to contact one of the candidate, if they wanted to start doing that, they need to accept it. Keeping the record in the queue, they cannot start doing it. So that's not a rule. So they have to accept it, then only it has to be started. Because in the real time, there will be a monitor. There will be a monitor saying that when the record is accepted, from that moment till the closure of the record, how long you took to complete the case. How long you took to complete this particular record. So there will be always this kind of a SLA will be there. So there is always SLA will be there. Also, there is another SLA from queue. From the queue to the accepted. How long the record was in the queue and what was the reason that is in the queue. And when you took the account, when you accepted this record, so till that time, what was the record that you are working on? So there is always a tracking will be there. So those tracking, they can create it through the reports. They can managers generate a reports to understand how many records in the queue, how many records are accepted, between the queue to accepted, what is the time gap? What is the duration here? And from accepted to the closer, what is the duration here? They can everything track it through the report. So it's very strictly followed by the client. So here, whoever is the HR member is there, they have to accept the record, then only they should start. Now, this is the scenario where one of the scenario for the assignment rule here. Now, assignment rule here, assume that this is the object here, right? We cannot implement a assignment rule on any of the object. I cannot implement an assignment rule on any of the object. I can implement an assignment rule only on lead object, case object, custom. Custom is nothing but through the Apex. So we have a 3 type of assignment rule, which is a lead, case, and custom. Through this, we can implement it. So I can implement an assignment rule only for lead. I can implement an assignment rule only for case. This is the admin part. What are the lead assignment, case assignment is there? This is the lead admin part. And the custom one is a development part. I cannot create an assignment rule for the account. I cannot create an assignment rule for the contact. I cannot create an assignment rule for my contact, product, or any other object. I cannot create it. Only 2 objects we have it. Now, before going to the assignment rule, let's have a clarity on this. So far, we are discussing the queue. And then yesterday we have discussed about the public group. Now, how can I differentiate? What is the exact difference? What does public group does? What does queue does? So basically, we have 2 things, queue and a public group. And this is an interview question. Queue is, it is for assignment. It is for assignment. Whoever the members are, they're part of this queue. They will have all authority. All authority. You can do anything. You can shift that queue to the another queue. Right? You can transfer the queue. You can assign it to somebody else. The queue members have all the authority on the records that are there in the queue. And queue is used for the assignment. Whereas public group, all the authority is not there. The authority of full access is not there. They will get it is just a share. It is just a share. Though the record is still with the another person, but I'm sharing the record to the different user or a different group. That doesn't mean that they are the owner of it. They are not the owner of it. When we go for a public group, if I'm sharing the record, if I'm sharing the record, means they are not the owner. They are temporarily holding that case. When I say queue is nothing but they are the owner. They are the owner of that particular record. If tomorrow something happen, I cannot ask a public group members, but I can ask a queue members. What is the problem here? And if I change the owner here, that means they are going to get a complete authority there. And then the main purpose of the Salesforce queue is to balance the workload. Balance the workload. That means if I have a different teams, how much each member is holding the record. If I have a 3 members, all the 3 members, are they able to close the records 6 cases every day? Are they able to handle it or not? Or is the records are assigned parallelly or not? Everybody is taking the records parallelly or not? Every day, how many records they are working on it? That means we are balancing the work there. Whereas public group, it says that public group is to just share it. That means this person is having a sharing, right? This person is having the record sharing, but they are not, I cannot say that he is a hold of the record. He is not the hold of the record. If there is something happened on top of it, I cannot get a report. Whoever is a shared record, whoever the records are that are shared with these members, I cannot get the report. I cannot know that by running the report, if something is happened that one record, who was the person that shared and who was the sharing person that was working on, I'll not be knowing that. I cannot hold of the sharing person. Whereas in the queue, I'll know that who is actually working on it. And the third one is it can be created for the custom objects, lead, case, and knowledge article. And it can be used across the various objects. This public group sharing is every object I can use it. Whereas a queue, which we have a specific objects that can be focused on that. Now, any questions here?
Ma'am, what are the knowledge articles? And
Knowledge articles are, for example, you are raising a ticket to the support, right? So they keep on seeing, they saw one issue. Assume that some sharing is not working. Okay, something sharing is not working. They have already worked with that person. Now, once it is closed, that case is closed. Once it is closed, what they will do is they create one article. They create some documentation. Why? Because tomorrow, if any other person face the same issue, that document can be shared with another person, because next time they do not want to spend that much of time, because with the first person, they spent 4 hours in order to resolve the issue. Now, if they wanted to save the time, what they will do is they create a document, and whenever the next time, if any other person is raising the same issue, right? So first what they will do, the Salesforce support team, they will search the issue. So when they are searching the issue, if it is already, our team is already handled, that means there is a knowledge art, there is a documentation that is created within the system. So what they will do is they will open up the documentation and they will see the steps and they will guide the steps to the user within 30 minutes or 15 minutes. So where they are saving the time. So that means once I solve the issue, I'm documenting it and I'm sharing this document to the other people, which is called as a knowledge article.
I can say it is a setup object.
Sorry?
Can we say it is a setup object or any just only like
It's basically part of the service cloud. So what are the cases we are receiving it? If we wanted to document it, we can document it. But by default, you will not see the knowledge article. We need to enable that. That we will take it up later.
Okay.
It's a documentation.
Yeah.
So Swapna, so does it mean that if we have a queue, we cannot have public group, or if there's a public group, we don't use queue, or what is the scenario where we use both the things? Can you explain? In which situation we have to use both?
Okay, assume that in the queue there is a record is there. Okay. Now the queue is Messi has owned the record. He owned the record today, and suddenly he got some emergency. So he went on the emergency. Now, on behalf of that, what Messi can do is he will take a permission from his manager. Right now, I need an emergency leave. Can I share this record to some other person because it is escalated? So can I transfer this record to the some other person? So what manager will say that how long you are going for a vacation or emergency leave? So the person will say that maximum 1 day, tomorrow I'll be back. So the manager will say that do not transfer the record. Just share the record so that on behalf of you, he can manage to client. But once you are back tomorrow, start owning the whatever that happened yesterday, start owning it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And one more thing, you said all the queues that reside in the group object, right?
Yeah, group object.
Yeah. So where is it exactly? Where we can see it?
In developer console. So when we are discussing in the development, we will see. So there
Okay.
are group members, everything we can see in that. So group members are basically public groups are queue.
Okay.
I think I have already explained. If you go to the developer console, click on your open, and then you can see objects there. When you click on your objects, you can see all the objects.
No, I mean, when you say object, means there will be a tab for it, right? Now accounts, it's an object. We have a tab as well. So in the tab, I can see it. You know, there's an object called group. There's a tab called groups, but there's nothing inside that.
Because
So
did you create anything?
yeah, I created one queue. I can see it in the lead, in the list view, but it is not showing anything in the group object, in the group tab.
Okay. Have you searched the group members?
There's nothing inside. I mean, it's just empty.
Okay, we will see in the development class then.
Okay. Yeah.
Any other questions here? Okay. So as we have a time, I'll take it up the automated sharing also. Okay. So next one is automated transfer. So while transferring the record, ownership to the required users queue manually, it will take more time because if I keep on assigning the queue, it takes a lot of time. But if I'm getting everyday thousands records and if I have to transfer 1,000 records to the queue, it is going to take a lot more time for the admin team. So what we can do is to make the process automated, we have to use the assignment rule. We have to use the assignment rule. So assignment rules are used to transfer the record to the required users or queue, which can be done dynamically at the runtime based on the specified conditions. Specified condition. There is a certain conditions it has to be implemented in the assignment rule. So based on the conditions, we can transfer the records. Now, assignment rules will be fired after insert, after update. So the record inside the object. So that means once the data is saved into the database or once the data is updated into the database, then only the assignment rules will fire. So we can configure one or more assignment inside the organization, but there has to be only one active at a time. You can keep only one active. You can create n number of assignment roles, but the active has to be only one. You cannot keep the multiple assignment roles active. Basically, system will not allow you to keep the active for the multiple members. So Salesforce provided 3 types of assignment rules. One is a lead assignment rule. Lead assignment rule is nothing but these are used to transfer the lead records. It is specific to the lead object. It is used to transfer the records to the lead records to the required queue dynamically at runtime based on the specified condition. And the second one is a case assignment rule. So basically lead assignment, case assignment, the screens will be everything same. Only the thing is that you, in case if you wanted to implement a assignment for the lead, then you have to go to the lead assignment. If you want to implement a assignment rule for the case, then you have to go to the case assignment. But ideally, both if you either you click on a lead assignment or case assignment, the screens are common. So case assignment rule these are used to transfer the case record to the required queue at runtime based on the specific condition. Now the third one, we have a custom assignment rule. Custom assignment rule, we can configure the custom assignment rule for the queue supporting object within the help of Apex programming. So this custom assignment rule, we will be doing it in the development. So if you wanted to configure the custom assignment rule for the supporting objects, you cannot do it for any other objects. Whatever the supporting objects are there, for those supporting objects, if you wanted to go with any Apex logic, then you can go ahead. So if you have any typical scenario which you cannot handle through the lead and case assignment, then we will go with the Apex programming. Now navigation steps for the assignment rule, click on a setup, search assignment rule. So you will see two options when you search it. One is a lead assignment, another one you will see case assignment. So we have a lead assignment rule as well as the case assignment rule. Right? Lead assignment rule is a part of marketing, case assignment rule is part of service. Now, when you click on a lead assignment rule, it will open up this lead. Now automatically assign leads to the users or a queues based on the criteria you define. What are the criteria is defined within this, you can be able to assign based on that criteria. So you can create a multiple rules within the different condition. What is this multiple rules? We will see that, but only one rule can be active at the time. So that means I can create a multiple rules here, right? I can create a multiple assignment rules, but only one will be active. So this standard one is automatically created by the Salesforce. So they have by default, whenever we take a org, they will give us this standard one. Okay. But right now what we are going to do is we are going to click on a new button. Now, when I click on a new button, what will happen? The next screen, it will be shown like this. So after you create your rule, select the item, select it from the assignment rule list and add the rule entries. Add the rule entries. Right now, I'm just giving the rule name. What is my rule name? Whether I want it to be active or not. So that's what I'm giving here. So assume that my rule name is lead city. Let's take a lead city rule. And I'll click on active. Let's click on a save. Now, if you see here, automatically when I clicked on this active, automatically the standard one is deactivated. Standard one is deactivated. I'm still with Leon now. The standard one is deactivated. Okay, so now if you open this, or if you open that, what will happen? It will show this screen. Here, what we are doing it when we open it, right now, we have just created a name and we have just activated it. But I need to add a conditions. In order to add the condition, I need to click on that lead assignment rule. When I click on a lead assignment rule, this is the screen we will see, and we will see the rule entries. We will see rule entries. For ours, there is no rule entries for now. So whenever you are creating the assignment rule, you need to add at least one rule. Without that, you cannot assign it. That means you need to have a certain conditions here. You need to have certain conditions. So Salesforce recommend you to create a multiple rule entries under this rule. It is typically not necessary to create more than one rule. However, you may need to create additional rule if you are importing the leads and you choose to route them based on the another criteria. So Salesforce is recommending it, at least add a rules here. When you are creating the assignment rule, we should add the rules here. Now we will add it. Now let's take an example of the requirement. So configure the lead assignment rule to transfer the lead record to the required queue based on the lead city. Based on the lead city values. For example, lead city equal to Hyderabad, then it should assign to Hyderabad sales queue. Lead city equal to Bangalore, then it should assign to the Bangalore sales queue. Lead city equal to Chennai, then it should assign to Chennai sales queue. Lead city equal to Mumbai, then it should assign to the Mumbai sales queue. Right? So this is the requirement. Now, in order to fulfill this requirement, the first step is I need to implement the queues. I need to implement the queues inside my system. Now, step one is I need to create a 4 queues, which supports the lead object record, and I need to add the one of the users in the queue member. So steps are, first I need to create a Hyderabad sales queue, and I need to create a Bangalore sales queue. I need to create a Chennai and Mumbai sales queue. So that is my first step. So let's go here. Now, right now we are into the assignment rule. So what I'll do is I'll go to the queue. First, I'll go to the queues. When I go to the queues, now I have a Hyderabad sales queue. I have to create 2 more, which is a Mumbai sales queue. And the email, I'll give samskarit@gmail.com, send email to members, and I have to give lead. For example, if I are creating an assignment rule for lead, and you are creating a queue member for case, the scenario won't work. Because here you are saying the selected object is case, but here you are creating the lead assignment rule. So that means this is automatically, when I create an assignment rule, is nothing but what will happen? The backend, this assignment rule only executes onto the lead. It will not execute this onto the case. So whatever the need you needed, only create that or select the object. Now here user is Leon Messi. Now click on save. I have created the Mumbai, and the next one is a Chennai. Chennai sales. Chennai sales group, and Samskar IT, select members to email, and then we need lead. Select it and Messi, and click on a save. Now, perfect. The step 1 is completed. Step 1 is completed. I had created a Hyderabad sales queue, Bangalore sales queue, Chennai sales queue, Mumbai sales queue for lead object. Now, step 2. Step 2 is I need to configure the lead assignment rule. Click on a setup menu, search for the option lead assignment rules. Click on new button, enter the lead assignment rule, and select the checkbox active. And click on it, save. Open the lead assignment rule by clicking on it and go to the rule entries. Right, click on the add button to add the rule entries. So till this point, from the lead, when we are searching the lead assignment rule, save. This is already done, right? We have saved it. We have created a lead. We have created a lead here, right? And I clicked on the lead assignment rule. I have opened the lead assignment rule, and then we have a rule entries. Now that is, go to the rule entry section. Open the lead assignment rule, go to the rule entry section, click on the add button. There is a add button there. There is a add button. So I have a add button here. That means click on a new button. So enter the number, which are the number we wanted. Then we have to select the queue name, pick list, transfer the lead and save it. That is the step 2. Now let's go ahead and add that. Click on a new. Now, whenever I click on a new, there is a sorting order, it will come, right? There are 3 steps are there. Whenever we are creating an assignment rule, there are 3 steps. First step is you need to enter the order. In assignment rule, we have a orders, which one to be executed first, which one to be executed later. So here the assignment rule, the user can decide it, whether they wanted to execute the first record, second record, third record. So the order will be this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So Salesforce evaluates each entry in order and tries to match the entity's criteria as soon as a match is found. So Salesforce process the record and stop the evaluating the rules entries. For example, if first one is matching, if I have a 4 rules here, right? 4 rules I have created. If first one is matching, it will not go to second, third, fourth. If second one is matching, it will not go to the third, fourth. So it will go step by step. Now you decided which order you wanted. So right now I'm selecting the 1. Right now I'm selecting the 1. And the next one, we have a second one, which is called select the criteria for this rule entry. What is the criteria? Which criteria you wanted? So in our scenario, we have a criteria called lead city. We have a criteria called lead city equals to, let's say, Hyderabad. Lead city equal to Hyderabad. Now you can add a multiple fields. You can add a multiple fields and you can update a logic here, like a 1 or 2, 1 and 2, everything like a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, or 1 or 2. And then whatever the result is coming out of this 1 or 2, that result, and then and 3 and 4 and 5. So it is like a true and false. If it is a true and true, true, true and true, true. So and true and false. So whatever the end result is there, everything you can customize the filter. So you can add a multiple here. So in our scenario, lead city equal to Hyderabad, lead city equal to Bangalore, lead city equal to Chennai, lead city equal to Mumbai. You can add a multiple options here itself, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a 4 rules in order to make you understand. But there is a flexibility that you can add here 4 different city equal to Hyderabad, Mumbai, Chennai, whatever the Bangalore is there, you can add it and you can write here logic 1 or 2 or everything you can write it. So that is possible. Now the third step. Now the third step is you need to select a user or a queue. We have an option called whom do you want it to, like select the user or a queue to assign the lead. Whether it is, do you want it to assign this to a specific user or do you want it to assign to the queue? If you say queue, right now this is the Hyderabad. So whoever the lead equal to city equal to Hyderabad, I wanted to assign those leads to the Hyderabad sales queue. I can assign it to the Hyderabad sales queue. Now email templates. So far, we have not discussed email templates. Email templates is basically as soon as it is assigned, if I wanted to send certain email in a proper format, right? Whatever the client is requested, certain email format. If we wanted to send that, then we can utilize, we can click on this and we can use the existing templates, so that what will happen, it will be assigned to the, whenever it is assigned or whenever it is sent, then automatically there will be email goes to the queue members. And do not reassign the owner. Do not reassign the owner. For example, there is a scenario. The Messi has already owned the record. Messi has owned the record. Now, suddenly he felt that I cannot handle this record. There is some other person, experienced person, that person has to be taken care by this issue because he has a experience in that. Now, in case, if you do not want any cases to be reassigned to the another user, so from the queue, it is already assigned. And if you want to reassign back to the queue or reassign back to the owner, right? So that in case if you do not want, then you can select that do not reassign the owner. We will see that option once we will done with this. Now click on save. I'm not selecting the email template. Now this is the first one is created. Now I'll click on a new one. So new one, second order, and the lead city equals to, let's say, Bangalore. Now this users, I wanted to assign this, what are the lead is there with the city equal to Bangalore. I wanted to assign it to Bangalore sales queue and click on it, save. Now the second rule order is created. Second rule entry is created. Second rule entry is created with the order 2. Now the third order I'm going to create it 3. Now you might be getting a question that I'll create a 1, 2, and 4. Okay. I'll not create a 3. I'll create a 1, 2, 4, or I'll create a 1, 2, 10. 1, 2, 3, and 10. I'll create it. What happens? Salesforce is smart enough to capture that. If you want to experience that, you can go ahead and try with that. Now the second one is Chennai. If I say queue, Chennai is, I wanted to assign to the Chennai sales group. Click on save. This is the third order created for, right? This is a rule entry, third order rule entry is created. Now, if I wanted to click on another one, which is the fourth one. Now, lead city equals to Mumbai. Now, I can assign this queue to the Mumbai sales group, sales queue, and click on it, save. Now, I have a 4 orders that are created here. If you wanted to reorder, you can do that. If you say reorder. So what will happen? It is reordered. Now it will check which one has to be there, everything. For example, if I make a change here, now I wanted this to be 4 and this I wanted to be 3. What happened? It is reordered. Now if I change back Chennai to 3 and if I change this Mumbai to 4 and if I'm seeing all, not in order, I'm seeing everything in different order. I wanted to place this into the order. In that case, you can do this. Now, this has been created. Now, that's fine. That means my lead assignment is done. Step 2 is completed. Step 2 is completed. Now, step 3, click on a leads tab. Click on a new menu, enter the details inside the fields, go to the option section and check that assign using the active assignment rule and click on save. What they are saying here, now our configuration is done. This is everything is called configuration. Now our configuration is done. Now it is for testing. We have to test whether it is working or not. Now what I'll do is I'll go to the lead and I'll click on new button. And when I click on a new button, it will ask mandatory information. I'll say whatever, professor. I'll say David Bros. And then company, let's say I'll say IKEA, company IKEA, and then title, lead source, anything if you wanted to give, you can give. Web, address, all these options, you can give it. Now, if you observe once before clicking on a save button, just observe this point here. This is very important. So this one is if you uncheck, the assignment rules will not work. The assignment rules will not fire. If I uncheck that, the assignment rule will not fire. If you want this, what are the assignment rule we have created? If we want the assignment rule to be fired, then what we have to do, we have to check this. We have to check this option, check this and click on a save. Then only the assignment rule will work. Now you can say that I have already configured, it is already there in the system. Now why we have this option? Now client needed some flexibility there. There are few records which we do not want the assignment rule to be executed because those leads are created for themselves or they have created for their own purpose. They do not want to fire those assignment rule. What are the real clients or real users which we are getting it? For them, I wanted to fire a assignment rule. So in that case, what you will do is you will check this. You will check this. So let's go ahead and check. So select this and click on it. Save. Now, but I did not give a city here. The condition is does not meet. If I want the conditions to be met, then I have to give here Hyderabad. Because one of the condition is city equal to Hyderabad. If I say Hyderabad, it will be assigned to Hyderabad sales. So let me save this. Details. Now it is assigned to Hyderabad sales queue. For example, I'm updating the address. I'm updating the address saying that Mumbai, I'm updating it. I'm updating to Mumbai. So when I'm updating Mumbai, did I give proper? What is the option that I gave there? Okay, let's take Bangalore. Now, if I say Bangalore here, click on save. Okay, I don't know why it is not working, but ideally it will work whenever we update a record. It should work here. It will update the record. So if I wanted to change, you can change it. So right now I have created let me create another record. Click on new. Let's say company IKEA. And then I'll assign it, but I'll give here city Mumbai. Let's click on save. Okay, now let me update this to Hyderabad. Click on save. It's not updating. Let's see that after this. So right now I have assigned this to the Mumbai sales queue. Now let's go here. Let's go to the users. And now the user will log in. User will log in and go to the lead. And he can see that. So there is a Mumbai sales queue. So in the Mumbai sales queue, it has an option. Now he is accepting the record. Accepting has to be done manually by the members, but assigning to queue has to be done automatically. Now let me log out. So let's go back to the lead assignment. Lead assignment rule. Click on edit, click on this. Now click on edit. I'll update this, do not reassign. Now, as soon as I check this, do not reassign, what will happening? It is disabling everything. Let me. So for example, right now I'm going into this particular one. Let's create a new one. So lead assignment rule. So if I say this, do not reassign, that means I do not want to assign this to the anyone. And what will happen? Now let's create a new one. This is lead Hyderabad. Click on save. Sorry, activated. Click on edit and activate. Click on save. So new one. Order one criteria is city equals to Hyderabad. Now I'll say that do not reassign it, save. Let's go back to the lead assignment rule. We have a lead Hyderabad is activated. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and create a lead. Click on new. So I'm creating some record here. Let's say city. Hyderabad, click on save. Oh, I did not assign it. I did not click on the assign button. So what I'll do is I'll clone this record. Okay, Professor Dev IKM, then Hyderabad. I'll click on this checkbox, click on save. It's not assigning it. We will see that later. Tomorrow we will see. And why it is not working. Let's click on edit assignment rule, click on the edit, activate it, click on save. Right, and create a record. or else we have taken the existing one, new man. This is already in queue, or it's not. So David Bruce is already in queue details. Why it is not updating it? The criteria is why it is not meeting up. So let's put the debug log. Let's go to the debug log. Click on new. Let's see the user. Yeah, and the user DC batch. And then debug log. Click on SFDC dev console, click on save. Okay, so now I'll update this to Hyderabad, right? So I'll update this to Mumbai. Click on save. Refresh. Okay, the record is created. Let's go to the view. Okay. So assignment rule, lead, detector. So what is happening here? The duplicate detector anyway it will run. Then here is the assignment. Okay, so this is the user info, nothing much. So let's go to the another one. Nothing much. Okay. Fine. We'll see that option why it is not changing. Ideally, assignment rule should be updated. The queue should be updated whenever we make a changes. Any other questions? Is that clear? Whatever we have discussed today, is that clear? Jyoti, Bharati, Bhagyashree.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any questions, anybody?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
actually we have in second step, we have sort order it there.
Yeah, yeah.
Whenever requirement will be met, that then only it will be assigned the record, right, ma'am? In second step,
In second.
creating yes.
Okay.
Then why we need to give the sort order 1, 2, 3?
If you have a multiple criterias in real time.
Okay.
So in real time, what we will have is usually they will give two conditions, two rules, because they wanted to unassigned queues also will be there. There is something called unassigned queue and assigned queue. Okay.
Okay.
So for those, what are the unassigned queues are there? They wanted to maintain that in the different rule entry.
Okay.
What are the assigned to specific queue is there? I wanted to maintain them in the different queue. In those scenarios, what they will do is they wanted us to create a multiple rule entries.
And we have filter option also there, ma'am. 1 or 2 or
Yes, you
like
can
we
do
can.
that. You can do that, but that is, you will be assigning to only one queue. If they have a 2 queues, conditions you can do filter. Okay,
Okay.
but assigning you cannot do multiple assignment at a time.
And what brief about them? Actually, city equal to Hyderabad.
Mhm.
And that requirement, whenever requirement will be made, then only it will be assigned to that particular group,
Queue.
Hyderabad. Then why we need to like my question that is like a sort order 1, 2, 3.
Mhm. Because there are some records which are coming in the Bangalore side. Okay, you wanted to know, you have a overall everywhere you have that, right? You have in your company is getting the leads from different places.
Okay.
So when you are getting the different places, so that time what will happen? You wanted to route that record to the specific person. So first one, for one record, it is qualifying here 1, that should be fine. And the second one, there are few records which are qualifying for the second records. You will not get a record from one place, right? At a time, you cannot say that Hyderabad team just go ahead right now and fill the form. You cannot say that. Bangalore team, this is the time for you to go ahead and create it. You will not say that. We don't know when they are going to create a records. Whenever they create a records, automatically I need to check these all conditions and assign to them.
We can say it is a second priority. No? Order is a second priority. First priority goes to this criteria.
No, first priority is a order.
Order.
Yes, first priority is a order. If first one does not meet, it will go to the second order. Because that's the reason we have an order here. Salesforce can execute this one first and this one second, then this one third, this one fourth, right? But it will not do that. It will do based on whatever the order you specified.
Okay. But then thing is, Hyderabad, why we can segregate like Hyderabad, Bangalore, like that? Because of criteria that clients would be in their Hyderabad, Bangalore. Then for that purpose only we can segregate.
Location based. Queue is a location
based.
based, right? So if you want to meet the person, then you need to assign that record to the queue based, location based.
Okay.
Okay, so for that group object for Archana for yours, so go to the developer console, click on file, click on open, and click on objects here, and just say that group. So you can select this group, click on your open, select multiple objects which are you want, click on query, and execute it. So whenever you execute it, you will see the queues that we have created where the type is a queue. Is Archana there? Okay, she left. So you can see these groups here. So these are the groups. Basically, it is for what I'm doing is I'm querying the record group object. So when I query the group object, I can see the queue related records. What are the queues that we have created? These are the records. Okay, so let's move on. So today we have learned about public read write transfer. What are the takeaway from today's session? What did you learn from this session?
Queues.
Sharing.
Queues and difference between queues and public groups and
Transfer.
assignments rules.
Transfers, queues based on the transfer.
Difference between queues and public groups. Automated transfer.
Public read transfer for lead and case.
Okay. Yes, so we have seen the differences between the sharing and transfer, use case, owner update. And also we have seen what is the queue, what is the differences between the queue and public group. In the queue, we have two types, which is a supporting objects and queue members. And we have seen the navigation steps, queue manual sharing. Those are the topic which we have seen. Questions, what is public read write transfer?
To transfer the ownership.
You can transfer record from
One is a-
one owner to the other owner.
Right. And which object can we see public read write transfer option?
Lead and case.
Lead and
Lead and
case.
case.
Lead and case, yeah. And what is a queue?
Which
Queue is a
nothing.
location
Location
to
where the pending records are
It is
awaiting for
nothing
process
but
by
a location,
assign the
but
owners.
the record waiting for the processing existing user.
Right. So what are queue supporting objects?
Lead
Lead
and
case.
Lead and case.
and custom objects.
And custom.
All custom objects, yes. So first homework, configure a queue service queue by adding the case object as supporting object and Salesforce license. So basically you need to add a user who have a Salesforce license as the queue member. And the second one is configure a queue on the opportunity, which is a name as opportunity sales queue, by adding the opportunity object. You need to add opportunity object as a supporting object, and Salesforce license user, you need to add it to the queue member. How can you implement the homework tool?
It's not possible, I think so, because of object.
Yes.
Opportunity is not possible to.
So this
By
is
using
not
lead
possible.
and case custom objects only, they allow. Opportunity it's not allowed.
Right. So for homework too, we cannot implement it. It's not possible. So they will ask this kind of interview questions also. How can you implement a lead assignment? How can you implement an assignment rule for the opportunity object? You cannot do it. Through the Apex also, you cannot do it. Through the Apex also, we need a supported object. Create a custom object, vacancies, create a field, city, open and company name. So what you can do is configure a queue name, company, vacancies queue by adding the custom object. What are the custom object you are creating it, that add that custom object as a supporting object, then add the Salesforce license user to the queue member. And the next one is configure a case assignment rule to assign case record to the required queue based on the case priority as below. Okay, so case priority equal to high, then it should go for tier 1 service queue. If case priority equal to medium, it should go to the tier 2 service queue. Case priority equal to low, then it should go to the tier 3 service queue. Okay, and configure the required queue by adding the case object as a supporting object and Salesforce license user as a queue member. So here, This is a tier 3 service queue. Tier 3 service queue. Next one, configure a lead assignment rule to assign the lead record to the required queue based on the below. So lead first name equal to test, or a lead last name equal to test, or lead email equals@test.com. Then it should assign to unassigned lead queue. If either of this condition is meeting, then it should go to the unassigned lead queue. If lead source equal to demo request, then it should go to the SDR3 queue. If lead annual revenue is greater than some 1 lakh, or assume that 1 lakh, then it should go to the account EXE1. So configure the required queue by adding the lead object as a supported object, and then Salesforce object is queue member. So you need to create a lead assignment, then you have to create a queues also. And these are the trial heads which are related to the assignment rules. So I'm pasting in the chart. Okay, I'm pasted in the chart. Any questions? Okay, if there are no questions.
Hi, Swapna. Regarding yesterday task, they
Mhm.
have